So
amazing. Let's go.
yeah, come on, Sebastian. All right. Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Unsigned Berlin. Today we have Aria. Welcome. And she has her song as our little snippet today called Fantasy is My Religion. So you can hear a little bit of that now.
I met that one yesterday. I felt like there was something more. He doesn't know, but we had sex in my head. Right away I sent a message to.
So that was Fantasy is My Religion by Aria. And that's off the album. And that's already out, but you said new things are coming, which is very exciting.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about that a little bit more. But first, let's start off with a bit of background. You're from Spain. How did you come to Berlin? How did that play in terms of your music?
Yeah, actually, that's a really funny story because I finished my degree 2020. So Corona hit me like really hard, like all of us, right?
Yeah.
So my plans were to move. Like I wanted to move to Puerto Rico, like to Brazil. Like, oh, let's go, let's live life. Because Corona had all the plans. And I thought, okay, if I move now there, it's gonna be. But back in the days, it was like Corona, like we're all going to die. So I thought, okay, let's not go to Latin America because you don't know what's going to happen. So I remember I thought, okay, let's go to Puerto Rico. But if something happens, let's do 1 year of German just in case you have a plan B, you have a backup. So, okay, Corona happened. And I thought, okay, good job, Aria. You have a backup. Let's go to Berlin. Just like to save money, to work, to meet new people. You're still traveling. You're close home in case something happens. So I came to Berlin. And I came to Berlin on September. And on November, it was already everything closed, like bars. And like you couldn't even like sit down in a bench in a park, in the middle of winter 2020.
Oh, wow, dark times. Yeah,
it was
COVID.
Fucking horrible. Oh. I curse a lot.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You can. We're allowed.
Okay.
It's okay. It's allowed.
Okay, cool, because I cannot keep it. So yeah, and I arrived on September, and I had like literally 3 weeks, and then everything was closed, okay? So I arrived, and everything was sunny, and I have this friend, Julia, one of my biggest friends. She's amazing. And we both went to this party because she did their Erasmus in Weimar, just like the universe, And there I met my producer, I never did anything like this. I never wanted to be a singer, I never even think about it. I always sang, I had like a band and we got drunk and we played in like parties and pools, it was like, good fun. And then we went to this party and I met the producer that we made the album together, Hugo Trump. And it was like, my plan was like, okay, I'm going to make friends, we're going to like meet, we're going to have a beer, we're going to have a good fun. And then in the first session, we wrote Oscar.
Oh, no way.
And it was like, we both look at each other like, okay, maybe this is nice, let's do an EP together. And also because it was Corona, he's really busy always, but of course he wasn't that busy by the time. So this also like set up everything for us to have more time and be able to do the album that we did together. And from there, I was like, okay, actually, I feel amazing every time that I make music. It's my passion. I discovered it. I was lucky enough to discover it. And I was like, okay. Actually, I always say that music for me is like, it's a miracle, but also was a curse because I never wanted this,
Oh, really?
Like, I'm really happy. I'm pushing my career forward and I'm really focused and I really wanna make it happen, wanna grow. But it's not what I wanted. Like, I wanted to travel, like, okay, buy a ticket to go to fucking Filipinas and not come back in like 3 years, And I wanted to do this. And then settle down, search for my passion, like build a project, whatever,
Okay.
But it happened. It's just like the
kind
universe,
of the other way around a little bit.
Yeah, it just happened. And now I'm glad because I really struggled, I was in a bad position. And I'm glad that I stayed in Berlin, and I made it happen, even though it's not what I wanted. So this is how it happened. It was just like the universe, and I was awake enough to take the opportunity, and push it forward.
Very cool. Yeah.
And when you were making that album, when was that roughly?
So we met on September 2020.
Oh, okay, so straight away when you moved.
Yeah. It was like the second week. It was like Dios mío, like nothing was happening by that time, you know. And I just like met a guy. We connected, you know, and it was amazing. I was like, wow, I'm so lucky. Like I don't know.
Amazing.
I mean, I'm not Christian, but maybe God is this, you know. Maybe God is like you. And I mean, it was really nice. And yeah, because it was Corona, everything was closed, and we had a lot of time. The demos were like done by December, you know, like January. And then by summer 2021, everything was done and ready to like.
Right. Where were you recording that? Was it like bedroom? Or...
It was really nice because we went to Obi, you know, like the Obi, like the shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we bought like this like wooden sticks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and we made like a craft-made
vocal.
Yeah, vocal booth. You know?
Very nice.
And we placed it at my room, and we recorded. I was like, whoo, and we recorded there the vocals for the album, but like everything was really crafted actually, but it sounds fucking sick, you know. Who made an amazing work.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was fucking sick what he did.
Nice. And you've mentioned that the album too, I think from your Spotify, the album is kind of this like it's this journey from kind of being a girl to woman a little bit and moving to Berlin and
yeah, actually it wasn't my intention.
Oh, really?
No, it was just like really, because I didn't know anything, you know. I was just like there, like it was fully passion and like intuition, you know. I didn't know, I never studied music, but I'm a really like introspective, connected person, you know. I'm always like trying to listen to my intuition. So it was fully intuitive, you know. So everything that I was writing about and singing was fully intuitive, coming from my core, you know. And yeah, it's really funny because when I play live the songs, of course, I always try to like introduce them really well. And people laugh, you know, because I'm, yo, guys, I'm telling you my story of my life, you know. It's like it's really personal, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it talks about this like time of my life in which I was really depressed, you know, and I was lost. I didn't know who I was, you know. I lost my identity in a relationship, you know, and everywhere, and I was all over the place. And then I recovered my health, you know, with internal work and a lot of like honesty, and then I made this, and every time that I listen to it, it's like I discover new things, you know. I don't know. It's really beautiful.
Oh, that's cool. Like you go back and you can kind of relive the experiences. And now that you are who you are now, you can look back and be like, and get new things from.
Yeah, exactly.
That is
it's
cool.
Like people that journal, you know.
Yeah.
But you can listen to it, you know,
So
and
true.
it sounds cool, like wow, you know, you know.
Yeah.
It's super nice.
Well, like you make things sometimes, right? And then you listen to it in the future and you're like, did I write this for myself in the future?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of weird. Like
Yeah.
and you're like with the intuition thing, maybe back then you kind of had this tiny little idea that you knew what was going to happen. So anyway, it's like this really cool little world.
It's just like connection, you know, with like brain and like soul, and also it's about being really humble, you know. I always say that you can listen in the sound of an artist if this artist is like an egocentric. Do you say egocentric? And yeah, right. Or is a really like humble, like connected person, you know. Because I always say that with my sound, I never try to impress or show off, you know. I'm never thinking about this when I'm making music, because otherwise you will hear it, you know.
Yeah.
So when I'm in the studio, I'm like, okay, let's like go within, you know. What do I want to talk about? And the more clear that I have my message, the better it sounds. It's like, you know.
Yeah, right.
So
There's like, you can hear it, like you said.
yeah, I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so that it sounds honest, you know.
Yeah. You can tell when someone's not doing it for the music too.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
the difference between you're like, oh, they're doing it for the music.
That's
clearly.
true, but also music is a really like hostile sector, you know, and hostile land. And I understand that many people are fucking desperate and they just want to like make it, you know. So I also understand, and it's also part of a process of an artist, you know. I didn't release any music since this album, but because I also went through my process, I was also like lost and just me, you know. Now I have to be a singer, you know. What I have to do, you know. And I was like, okay, and you know, I was like all over the place. So that's why music didn't happen, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's happening because now I like recovered my core and my balance, and now I'm doing it from a place of like enjoyment, you know. Because at the end of the day, it's art,
Yeah.
It is.
you know. And but like even if you, I always say like even if you open a cafe, you know, or even if you open a fucking like garden like shop, you know,
Yeah.
you have to do it because you love it. Otherwise, you're gonna be deep in shit. At the end of the day, it has to be about you, you know, not about what others people are gonna tell you, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
No, I think that's really well said, actually. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
When you were writing the songs, how much are you going into it being like, this is the message I want to communicate? Or is it more improvising and just seeing where the song takes you?
okay, because I mean, I tried to be really like, because I mean, I was like 21 when I wrote this. Now I'm 24, you know. I'm grown up.
Times have changed.
No, I'm not a grown up, but I was like, okay, I learned a lot, you know, and I still have a lot to learn. But I was like, okay, now I learned a lot about life, and you know, like, and now so I want to like portray this on my songs. But actually, when I write about sex or relationship or whatever, I have the best melodies, you know. But I want to talk about life, you know, like you know, like things that transcend.
Yeah.
But I noticed that that I'm a basic bitch. You know?
Oh, it's the simple things. But maybe that's
Yeah,
like...
I don't know. But yeah, normally I have to visualize a lot, you know. So for example, I'm working on this song that is about how I flirt. Okay,
Ooh, that's
it's
really
about
fun.
Yeah, it's a really nice song. I was actually really surprised. So what I did, I was like, okay, that works.
You're like, wow, this idea is really
Yeah, I
nice.
was like,
It came from me?
Job.
Wow.
Yeah, and during the process, I was all the time trying to visualize, you know, like the guy in front of me, you know, and actually the chorus was like recorded at once because I was all the time visualizing, you know, what do we say to this guy if I go there and I tell him like, hey, you, what's your name, you know?
Ooh.
So I was just like visualizing, and then the melody came, you know, and it's a fucking sick hook, you know. So
I'm really excited to listen to that song.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun. Because then
let's
it's
hope
like...
that soon it's out.
Yeah. Well, maybe if someone's also less confident and they listen, they can put themselves in your shoes.
Yeah.
And be like... And
No,
kind of
actually,
act it out and be like, ah.
yeah, actually,
It's
it's really
empowering.
funny because I'm not like this, you know.
Yeah.
When like flirting, I'm like kind of shy sometimes, even though I'm a really outgoing person. And actually, I made this song to empower myself and others, you know, because flirting is not easy. You know?
It's fun.
It's like, well, for me, it's not fun at the
Oh,
beginning.
really? Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm like-
that makes sense.
I feel like I'm gonna jump out of a bridge, you know. You know, like, and I get so anxious. I really get anxious, you know.
Aw.
So I made this song, but it's fine. It's part of
Yeah.
my learning, you know. So I thought, okay, let's make a song, like. But actually, the song, the lyrics are really like empowering, you know. You're gonna tell, okay, this girl is a badass, you know, but I'm not. So, but that's a funny thing of the song, you know, like to listen to myself, to listen to the song and think, okay, Aria, you can do it. You know?
Aw. So it's like empowerment, but also self-empowerment too.
Yeah, no, it's empowerment, but also like in some parts of the songs, you can tell that actually.
It's like you
This-
hyping yourself up. Like,
Exactly. This is not happening in real life. You know, actually, I'm a piece of shit. You know, flirting.
No.
But it's fine. It's fine. You know, I know my strength and my weak points. So everything is about awareness and working on them.
That's so fun.
Is it in English or in Spanish?
Yeah, actually, it's in Spanish because this album is fully in English.
Right.
But in this like new chapter, no, of Aria sound. All the producers that I'm working with, they're new producers. They're all telling me like, Aria, you should sing it in Spanish. You know. Also, we're now experiencing a like, I don't know, Latin music is everywhere. You know, it's like this didn't happen like 3 years ago. You know, and I noticed that there's like producers that I'm working with. They're all German, but they're all telling me like, Aria, you have to write in Spanish. It sounds way more natural and genuine. And actually, they're right. So. Only one song is in English, and we have like 3 that are in Spanish.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, and actually, I feel really cringe when writing them. I don't know if this happens to you. I don't know if you like write.
Yeah.
But are you German or
No.
English.
you're both English? Okay.
But only write in English. I'm not writing in
fuck.
German or Spanish. or
Okay,
anything.
but I wanted to say like, for example, my mother tongue is Catalan and
Oh, right.
Spanish.
Oh,
Yeah. So when I write in Catalan or Spanish, I'm like, Dios mío. what am I saying, But then when I say it in English, I can say whatever, I also had a relationship in English, and I was like saying whatever. No, I love you.
But it's not that like
but
mother
then I
tongue.
say te quiero, and it's
And you're like,
Dios mío, this word is so heavy. What did I just say?
But I think English speakers throw around "I love you" a lot more.
Yeah, that's true. That's
like,
really
oh yeah,
bad.
bye, I love you, and I think people in other languages can.
Then also the other way, like I've had that the other way, where it's like saying I love you is like feels way more intense than.
But where
the
are you
girl
from?
I'm dating
You're
English?
American, no?
Yeah,
But
I'm American.
My relationship now is like largely in Spanish.
Oh, really?
And saying te quiero is way more chill than saying I love you.
Oh,
Like, I love you is like,
Really?
like,
But where are you from?
from the UK, so Spanish is not my
that's
first
different,
language.
Than America will say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's showing affection in England.
The weight of like I love you in America is way more like lighter than in the
very
UK.
light.
Yeah.
You can say I love you to like the fucking cashier in
Yeah.
Leve,
Yeah. True.
Yeah, or like kind of like, oh, I love you,
Yeah,
But
that's true.
Like when you, like when someone gets your humor or something, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Or we express like, I love that, and people are like, whoa,
Oh,
like
yeah,
oh,
true.
I love that.
Yeah, this like excitement of
What's
like
going
Americans.
on? Yeah,
It also gets me. No, but that's true.
Yeah. 100%.
That's true. I mean, I'm Spanish, but I'm Catalan, So I would say that we're like, okay, that's going to be really bad, but we're the Germans of Spain, okay? Yeah, so even though we're really nice.
Oh, yeah.
We're also like,
Unlike
kind of like, we're like also a little bit like distant sometimes. Not distant, but like really, we'll say cold in comparison to the people from the south.
That makes north and south. That makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
actually, the
Usually
north
how it
than you
goes,
are, and in
or a little
Europe-
more.
Yeah,
and then southern
that's
are like,
it.
woo.
Yeah, the
general.
south is amazing. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what happens when I write in Spanish. So it was really like a process of like, it was going through. I don't know if it's a trauma or what it is. Actually, it's like an act of vulnerability. So I was like, okay, Aria, you have to put yourself in this space, and you better work on it to feel comfortable because you have to work. And it was really nice. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought, and it works pretty well. Because, I don't know if we're going to talk about this later, about the sounds of the new EP.
You can talk about it now. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to break the interview, because I talk a lot. You can tell, right?
That's great.
Okay.
We love that.
I don't have to stop, eh?
No, don't. It's great.
Okay.
No, we will ask, but it's very nice when people have a lot to say. We always say.
I don't know. Sometimes I should zip it. But not in a podcast.
Not in a
Not in a podcast. No, not here.
That's true. But yeah, actually the sounds also in the next EP, or I don't know what it's going to be, I wouldn't say that they're Spanish, but it's more like rhythm focus,
Right.
And I will say that in this album, there are many things going on, Like every time that you listen to it, it's like a bell and a guitar and 4 layers of guitar and then 400 like layers of harmony, But in this new sound, I'm trying to be really like cautious and like, okay, no, let's remove. No, okay, maybe we shouldn't put. For example, I don't allow harmonies.
All right.
Let's put the voice clean and be like on the front, at the front.
Yeah.
And with the production, it's like, you can tell like it's maybe like 5 layers of sound. That's it,
Very cool.
And then you have to do like a puzzle kind of like, to balance all the rhythm, but it's like voice and then rhythm, which is percussions or whatever, and harmonies are like really in the back,
Right.
Interesting.
Do you always do like one vocal line at the front, or is it layered, lots of takes of the same thing?
No, it's one layer of a voice.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very vulnerable for singing. Like,
But actually, I can tell. I mean, at the end, we're all humans, okay? So we connect with humans. I mean, we connect with emotions, and at the end, we move in this like, land or whatever. So vulnerability like awakes something on us, and when you see someone like being so honest, like, yo, this is who I am, this is how I sing. I'm not gonna put any spices or any sugar on top, I think it's like really nice, at least I value this when I see an artist, like, yo, look at her,
Yeah.
ole, you say in Spanish,
Yeah.
ole, muy bien, so, and yeah, it's something that makes me emotional, so I thought, okay, I want to do this as well,
That's great, because sometimes like taking away layers is more powerful than adding. So it seems like, right?
It's super nice. I mean, I studied PR and ad. So I remember we had this like professor of creativity, And he was like the best professor I ever had. Like, he was amazing. I'm sure you guys have one that is like, okay, this professor,
yes.
I'm never going to forget, you know.
Yeah.
I still thinking about sending him an email, thanking him, you know. And I remember he introduced us to the creative process, you know. And it's a process that is really tough because you have to deal with your ego. That's it. Your ego is always going to be the barrier between you and a good idea, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
I will say
Big time.
is what I will say. And yeah, ego and respect. I will never allow or me myself say no. That idea. This idea is bullshit. I will never, because one idea leads you to the other. So you always should be like really humble and always respect and welcome ideas. You know. So yeah, in this process of like building a sound that is really empty, of course, sometimes me myself, even though I'm really like aware and really like focused, I doubt. You know, like. Just me, maybe this doesn't work. But you have to, this is ego. This is ego being scared, you know? Like the alarm is like, ooh, 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 ooh. But you have to like be focused and continue. And at the end, you make it, you know?
Yeah.
Things are not easy. You're going to spend time and you're going to like, but it's about like keeping your shit together, you know? Yeah. Okay, I might be scared because maybe this is not working. And I'm also working with a producer that also, I don't want him or her to like doubt.
No.
You know? But it's like, hey. And it's like a dialogue with myself, you know? It's like, hey, Aria. Be sure and push it forward, you know? And at the end it works, you know?
But then also it's like a balancing of the ego and confidence where it's like be sure, but also be ready that your idea is bad and then you look bad.
Yeah, of course.
And
of course.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to be bad, but that's amazing because one thing leads to the other, you know?
Yeah. Or just having collaborators that you can feel really free to share the ideas, but you know they'll call you out and they're like, let's try a different one, you know? But then it doesn't hurt your ego.
No,
you're like, okay,
never.
Sure. Like next one, and that's very important. To have those
also,
people, right?
you wanna always work with people that are like, really honest with themselves, you know.
Yeah.
And this is not about ego; it's about sound, you know.
Yeah.
So you better put the focus there. Otherwise, you're gonna listen to it in the final result, you know.
Right.
So no ego, no showing off, no like let's see who knows more. No, this shit you leave out.
No, that also.
And if you are, these are your values, we're not gonna work together. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, have the same thing.
Setting those standards.
It's really important. Otherwise, you can. It affects the sound, you know.
It does. Yeah.
Do you, when you're singing in Spanish, but having German producers, do you feel like you have to concentrate a lot more on the singing? Where if you're singing in English with English producers, they'll be like, "Oh, you're saying this word weird, and you just didn't notice." But now that's your job because they wouldn't notice. Do you feel like you have to do that? Yeah,
actually, as a singer, I always forget to open my mouth when I sing, you know. So I sometimes mumble. It's like, yo, you have one job, you know. So yeah, in this case, it's my job to like pay attention. So far, we don't have any final vocals for any songs.
Right.
But of course, I will like send them over, you know, to like my friends are like maybe artists, music or whatever, you know. But I also have like a friend of mine, Kim. He's an amazing like artist. He makes like theater, and he's amazing. He has an amazing brain. And I always send it to him, you know, like, yo, give me an approval because at the end for me it could be fine, but maybe other people cannot. But also, I also think about Rosalia, for example. You know her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, she's fucking sick, but you cannot understand what she's saying.
No, yeah.
And it's like, okay, and I'm Spanish. I mean, we were born 1 hour and a half far away, you know. We are from the same area, more or less, you know. But I don't understand shit. It's like, what are you saying? But maybe this is also like her touch, you know, or her brand or her sound, you know. So sometimes I wonder, like, it's not too bad, you know. No one cares, you know. Just like sing a good melody, and if a word is not really like well pronounced, fuck it, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what makes it easier for people to understand who don't speak the language as well. When it just sounds really cool, you know, and you can kind of hum it or just mumble it. Yeah. If you don't speak Spanish, even, I mean, you've kind of already won.
Yeah, there's chunks of Rosalia songs that you would sing along to.
Yeah, because the melodies are so sick.
Exactly, because the melodies are so cool, right?
Yeah, you're just gonna like...
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Because it's fucking catchy.
Yeah, totally. For kind of a different, like, comment on the visuals of your stuff that's already been released, you have this, like, one image of the cracked vase, which is I think it's called kintsugi. Just like the Japanese art of filling in a cracked vase with gold.
Yeah.
And I just think that's such a lovely like image. What inspired you to include that?
So yeah, this process was really beautiful from the beginning till the end, because I have this friend, Laia, and she's an amazing like craft woman, you know. She's like an artist. She makes these jars and all the shapes and like everything colors. In Barcelona, she has a studio there. So I was like, okay, I want to work with her because she makes beautiful things, and from the heart, it was like, okay, that's an honest work that she does. So I want to be part of it. I want to collaborate. So I asked her and I said, okay, we were working also with Idoia. Idoia is the photographer, the artist that made all the artwork for the album. So yeah, of course we had like zero budget, you know. And I was like, okay, maybe we can use the base somehow, you know. And we did all like the background. We like tied a piece of fabric, like a huge one, you know. And everything was made by hand in her room, you know. And I thought, yo, with Idoia we were like brainstorming, and we thought, okay, maybe it's a nice representation of like what happened, you know. Because in this song, Now I'm Ready, I said like, many cracks remind me of the lessons I taught myself. And I thought, okay, that's a nice metaphor, you know. And it's amazing, like, let's break this fucking jar. So we like took a hammer and like, and then we put it together, you know, and at the end, like, there's like wounds that we have made us so human. It's like, I wouldn't be who I am without everything that I experienced, you know.
Yeah.
And this year, for example, I also learned that pain and sadness is part of life, you know. And you better not run away from it. You better embrace it and sit down and listen what this pain has to like teach you, you know. So this is what the jar is about, you know. Like, I got really broken, but then I, you know, put all the pieces together, and these wounds are beautiful, you know. These wounds are golden. These wounds forms me as a person, you know. So yeah, I was like really proud to show them on the cover, like, hey, this is who I am, you know. Yeah, like my baby.
That's so cute. No, it's just such a lovely image. And that's really cool that was like a powerful like craft woman collaboration thing.
Yeah, actually
Really nice.
everything was woman collaborating on them, but the producer not. But for the
That's
artwork,
good.
yes, it's good.
That's great.
We allow him. No, it's a joke. It's a
He's
joke.
allowed.
He's allowed. But yeah, it was really beautiful to do this. I mean, I don't know. There's also like friends of mine, you know, that I collaborated with.
Yeah.
So it makes everything fucking comfortable, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
just, you know, I can do whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can break one of your jars. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, we sent her a video and she was like, oh my God, I don't want to watch this, you know. I've never seen one of my jars being broken. I mean, she makes them by hand, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really crafted, like, yeah.
It's like a little collaboration on its own because you take it and then you make it again.
Yeah, I remake it, that's true. I need credits for that.
Yeah, credits. Yeah, exactly. You also kind of seem so influenced by your surroundings, and especially with your music. How do you feel like the way you make music changes, whether you're here at home or if you're in a different place?
Well, I never asked this to myself. Actually, it's a really good question. Yeah, I'm a really introspective person, but like I never asked this to myself. Like how music is affecting me in a personal way.
Yeah, and like depending on where you are, like in the world, basically, or yeah, exactly.
I mean, I would say that music is a part of myself in which I'm really like. When I'm making music, I'm just making music, you know. And I'm really like a busy person. Do you say it like this? Like,
oh yeah,
I'm like woo woo, you know, like like it's a monkey with a gun in my brain, you know. Like, all the time making things like woo woo. And when I'm making music, I'm like boom, really focused, you know. So I think like for me, music it brought decency to my life, you know. Like, hey, you're passionate in one thing, you can do this really well, and meanwhile doing this, you feel so good. And it's like, Dios mío, Aria. So it, you know, like, wow, really good. So it brought decency, you know. So this also implies like I bring this in the universe, you know, in my relationships. Like I think everyone needs to. I mean, work dignifies, you know. Of course, not working like 60 hours per week, you know. But like when you feel good at what you're doing, you have another weight, you know. You're sure, like, just me, I feel good, you know. Like, you can, like in the way that you manifestate, you know, the way that you approach opportunities, like you feel good. So I would say that music was like really dignifying, you know. And because my family, they're all really like working people, you know. They always work with the hands. They're not schooled. or not like till university, So I always was like taught this, to work with your hands. You better move your ass, like you have to earn the money.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I'm really glad. But no one never taught me art, or I never saw art at my place,
Right.
So I didn't know that this was an option, I was like, oh yeah, I sing well, like, oh yeah, cool. But I'm going to do design in an agency, That's why I studied. But actually then I discovered this and I was like, okay, there's people out there that are making music and they're living out of this, I don't know.
Do you remember what that first thing was that you found and thought this could be an option?
Actually, I always struggle since this year. Because this 2 years since I started this in 2020, so 2020, 2022, I was really in a bad place, like, what am I doing, Like I was feeling all the time when you feel like you're doing something that you're not. The
Like
impostor,
ingenuine?
Okay,
Yeah,
imposter syndrome, But I was like the imposter syndrome with 2 legs, It was crazy. I was like anxiety, like really, really bad. And then, I tidied up my life. I put some boundaries where they were needed.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck it. Like, fuck yeah. And also like life this summer like hit me so hard that I was like, woo. Like, okay, life is like, no, because I think that when you go through pain, at the end of the day, like maybe a 12-year-old person or teenager or whatever, they have like, this like wide, not so wide range of pain,
Yeah.
But when you go through like moments in your life that you think, okay, that's fucked, like I'm gonna lose someone, or your range of like pain gets really wide, So I was really stuck in music because I was feeling really insecure, and I put a boundaries, and then I had a really tough situation this summer that made me click, and made me think like, yo, Aria, you better treat yourself like you're your best friend. This pressure that you feel, you put yourself in your life. So you better rest and you better enjoy it, So I just clicked and everything came to me, Now I work together with Lisa. She's managing the project and she's doing an amazing work. Also the band, I believe and I hope that they're really happy, We're having a lot of opportunities. Like people are like ringing the bells, like, like, hola. I'm like, oh, thank you, And I think that this I'm manifesting, because the love that I give to myself, I'm portraying, And yeah. So this happened like this September, I will say, like that I thought, actually people are showing interest, and also I feel really comfortable, on my skin and meanwhile working. So I thought, okay, maybe we could do something. I mean, from the beginning I thought, okay, this sounds amazing, but we all know that it's not about the sound.
Yeah.
Many people know how to make great music, but it's not about this.
Yeah.
Sadly. It's about like working and having a lot of milestones and doing a lot of things and getting the right people interested in you, and then like connecting and then keep on connecting.
Yeah.
It is like
Networking.
a work of like every day, and I started to like feel, that I could do this professionally this September, like this.
Wow.
last
Okay.
one.
Wow.
Yeah.
After making an album.
But
Gosh.
but I don't know. This album, I didn't know what I was doing, So it fall from the sky. So I was like,
Sometimes it's
I'm
the
gonna
most,
try,
Okay.
Sometimes it's the most pure. The
Yeah.
ideas can be the most pure when you don't
that's
know
true.
what you're doing.
But then at the end of the day, I don't feel like it's fully mine,
Ah,
And I'm
another
explaining
great point.
myself because I'm always trying to be really like fair.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Hugo made a fucking amazing job. He spent a lot of hours, and I wasn't really opinionated, So I was like, and I was also insecure.
Yeah.
So I was during the process, I was like not talking because I was afraid to like say something that didn't make sense. So now that I listen to it, of course I see myself, but I see a lot of his work, as well. And also I didn't make any comment like, hey, I didn't like. I was just like, but now this changed.
Yeah.
Because I learned. And I grew. So this new music that is coming, I'm like, okay.
This is mine.
Yeah. I mean, it's ours,
And
of
sharing
course.
with the band, of course.
Yeah, it's ours. But yeah, it's really, like, again, like it's bringing a dignity into my life, so to me as a professional. Like, yeah, I decided everything, and I was there in every like fucking layer. So
That's powerful.
together with my colleague, I mean, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, well, we're learning, You have to feel good in what you do, otherwise it's not going to go anywhere, I believe.
Ooh, yeah.
It's surprising that was so recent because I saw you perform in Monarch maybe 14, 15 months ago.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like a long time before that. And it seemed very professional and put together. How long had you been with the band at that point?
I mean, when I see myself, dude, I was watching videos of this performance, and I was like, oh, I could tell that I wasn't like fully in tune with myself, you know, I wasn't really balanced. But still, I was like, well, you know.
It's a good show.
Yeah, because I don't know if this is something bad or good of myself, but I'm always like really unaware of the bad things that could happen, or I really trust. Sometimes I trust too much, you know.
Yeah.
So when I'm on the stage, I'm like, it's gonna be fine, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why you saw me so loose, because I'm like, I'm just gonna,
Like,
you know,
fuck it,
I'm gonna
this is-
disconnect, because if I think about those things that could go wrong.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Fully. I mean, now if you will see me now, it's different. You know, I'm smiling all the time, looking at people. You know, I'm dancing. I wasn't doing this thing back in the days, because I was like, well, you know,
And so nervous and like.
I was nervous.
Do you always have like stage fright? Did you
No,
have it in the beginning?
zero, minus 100, zero.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's also something that I worked on. It didn't come from the sky, you know.
Right.
Like I remember when we started to like rehearse with the bands, I wanted to puke, and I never puke it. but I was like so fucking anxious. I was like matted like this, like in front of the mic. I was so anxious that I wanted to puke, you know. And I remember going to the toilet and calling my ex-boyfriend or boyfriend by that time, like, yo, I'm having a hard time. I cannot do this. And I thought, okay, we have to work on ourselves, because we wanna. I mean, there's 4 people here, you know.
Yeah.
Like they're all playing, they're all, you know, looking at me.
They're
so
looking to you.
I mean, we have to make it flow.
Yeah.
You know, and right now, I mean, because it's a process now of like learning, and right now we go there and like it's fucking like amazing, you know. It's like we all really loose, you know. I'm really loose, and I mean, I never studied music, you know, and by that time it was a really like weight on my shoulders. But right now I say, yo, you cannot ask me this because I don't know. So ask maybe Federica, or you know, like I'm sorry, you know. And if you're honest and humble, you know, it's like okay, Aria, you know.
If you know what you're good at and you can
and also you're honest. You know?
Honest.
Like yo, I don't know.
You're like, I'm good at this, but I can't do this. It's better than being like, oh yeah, I can, and then being like,
no, but that's bad. You see, you're like showing off. You're trying to like because the other one has to think. Just be honest.
But it's hard to learn that sometimes.
Yeah.
To just be like, no, I really just don't know. This is not me.
That's
like,
true. I remember actually my psychologist, she was like, and why you just don't tell them, you know? And I was like, I didn't think about this option. I didn't think that I could talk to them. And actually it's a process of vulnerability again, you know? Like open up and saying like, hey guys, I actually don't know. You know, because I mean, I've never done this. And now I'm like, I'm not leading because the arrangements are done by everyone, but I'm the front face of a band, you know? And by that time it was like, Dios mío, what am I going to say to these people? But now you learn that each of us, we have a role, and each of us, we know what we can do and we cannot do, you know? And if you respect the other, no one's going to judge anyone. And if you judge someone, go out, you know? You're not going to be part of these people. I mean, it's a place of love, and it's a secure place, you know? We all go there and we play, look at each other, we laugh, you know? We support the other. There's never judgment. Because if there's judgment, ciao, you know? You're going to listen to it again on the live, you know? I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a cool way of being.
I try my best. I don't know.
It also gets easier with time.
Yeah.
Because when you have more stuff out, more like evidence that you can execute, then it's easier to say, I can't execute right now, but trust me, I can overall.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that I'm a singer. I compose, so I will be a composer. Like a songwriter, but I'm not like a songwriter with a guitar like Ed Sheeran, you know? But I can compose with the guitar, but it's fine. And also I always say that I'm a performer, you know? And at the end I'm like a energy bridge, you know? Between my feelings and one sound, or my feelings and one sound in the audience, you know? And so on. I mean, it's art, you know? So it's about emotion.
Yeah. So it's really cool when someone hasn't had a musical background with family and didn't grow up with it, but then gets into it.
Yeah, but my family, they're fucking emotional.
So that
Like,
you go.
they're
But there
fucking
you go.
intense.
Yeah. Ooh, intensity is great
Yeah.
fuel for music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yo,
When you
true.
come from intense people,
Yeah.
like intense feeling people who like have these like they're there.
Yeah. They're never gonna keep anything in their mouth, you know. They're gonna be like, "Bleh,"
Yeah.
you know, and it's something. I mean, they're really nice, you know. It's like they taught me like a kind of loving that it's unbelievable, you know. And they're all like a fucking crew, you know, and it's amazing, you know. My family is really. I'm really now I know how to love them, you know.
Yeah.
Because back in the days I was like, what are you doing, you know? But now I learned to love them, and I'm really grateful. But yeah, they taught me how to be really connected with my emotions, you know, because they're all maybe too much connected with their emotions, you know. They maybe don't have much tools to like, you know, guide themselves through the world of emotions. But it's something that I'm really proud of, you know, that I notice a little bit of a gap between when you go there and when you're here, you know, because you can go there in a fucking like you go there to buy a baguette, you know, and then it's like, hey, what's your name? Oh, you look beautiful, and then you talk 20 minutes, you know, about like because my daughter, and then you show a picture of your daughter, and it's like a huge conversation, you know.
I miss that a little bit too.
You were there?
The small talk, or no? I just like being from a country that's a little more like talking to people.
America also.
We were very like,
same,
hi,
right?
how you doing?
And
you
also
know?
UK.
It depends where.
Oh, really?
Maybe
Like in the
depends.
north, it's very chill like that, but in the south, it's much more conservative and like.
Because it's maybe close to London.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
It's generally more middle class, and the north is more working
boring.
class. That's why I left.
But you're right. Like, in I feel like Latin countries, you know, like
Yeah.
it's very just open and warm and.
And then here it took me like a couple months to know everyone's name in the office where I worked.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Because people
Because
don't talk,
everyone's
people
like-
don't, and then like the clock finishes and people go home and they don't like spend time.
They don't want to do any
It's a
more
very
work
different
than
working
is
culture
required of them.
to like Latin America.
Yo, I mean, for example, my friend Katia, she's working in this like agency, you know, in Barcelona. So she showed me pictures of like the after parties, you know, after work, you know, and like everyone is like, woo, you know, really, everyone is everywhere, you know. And I noticed here in Germany that everyone is like in their thing, you know, really individual. I mean, also there, I mean, it's not like paradise, you know, but yeah, I guess like this emotion. I mean, I'm always gonna like talk what I feel, you know, or I'm always gonna like be truthful of about what I feel.
Yeah.
With what I feel. So I imagine that this also brings to the sound, you know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I can imagine.
No, I think that's really great. Like that's yeah, I mean honestly, with that
Yeah, we've done 45
we've
minutes.
done 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow, I could talk like 3 hours.
No, it's wonderful. Like such really interesting stuff. And before we finished, I love like I think it was in your Spotify or something, or maybe it was like you have a few really pretty lines where I was like, I'm reading off of this because I wrote it down. I couldn't remember. But
Yeah, no, of
the
course.
music I create is a tribute to those who are brave enough to feel is like really beautiful. And you had an Instagram caption too that's like, I forgot how it felt when life caresses you softly and I remembered. And anyway, it was just more of a compliment, but I love like as an artist having your own perspective on the world is something really special.
Yeah.
And it just seems like you openly are able to like freely express that. And
Yeah.
you know, the ego thing, it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm like, you know, what if people don't think I'm, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's really difficult because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We all feel, you know. So you have two options, you know. Give your back to these emotions and like look to the other side and continue with your life. Or again, you know, I think it's a act of self-love to pay attention, you know. It's like, okay, I'm feeling sad, I'm really broken. And also it's fucking, well, at least from my perspective, when I see someone that dares to say, yo, I'm deep in shit, you know, like not because you want like some like, but because you're just like saying like, yo, I'm not good, you know, or you know, someone that dares to like just feel is a place of vulnerability that is really brave, you know.
yeah.
And it's like, for example, one of my biggest, I mean, she's the biggest reference for me. It's Silvana Estrada. I don't yeah, she's Mexican. And it's fucking sick. If you see her, she's gonna be in Berlin in June. I don't know if you wanna go. I'm gonna go. And I show her to all of my friends and they all cry.
Really cool.
But like they all cry because she's so vulnerable and the lyrics. And she's only with this, it's not a guitar, I don't know what it is. It's not an ukulele.
Oh.
It's something in the middle. But she just like sits there, you know, stands up there. And she sings the songs talking about fucking crazy stuff, you know. And she's Dios mío, it's like next level of like, she's just like getting naked in front of the people, so crazy. Like, and that's why she empowers me to like keep on doing, you know, like Dios mío. And she's gonna be in Berlin. Really recommend it. If you go, you're gonna cry a lot.
Oh, that sounds, thank you for the recommendation. That's part of why it's so nice to have guests who give us recommendations
to open up,
and listen to new
music
things.
to you and all.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
of course. Well, thank you so much, Aria, for coming on.
Thank you so
I
much
really
for having
enjoyed
me.
It was a nice energy to kind of finish off a long day of recording.
of
so
work.
thank you very much.
Yeah, thank
and
you
before we
guys.
go, is there anything else you want to promote or say to anybody?
If you want to follow me on my Instagram,
It's
that
in
would
the
be lovely.
description.
And keep it up. Follow me on Instagram on the things that I do. And that's it. And I hope you enjoy the sounds that are coming and the sounds that we made in the past.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.